question period. While we acknowledge that you've changed your tack and you're going at it with more direct questions in a more prosecutorial tone, the chance that you are suddenly going to get a major revelation about how this unfolded in question period is slim. I
don't understand the question, and I'm going to say it to you very honestly. It's almost as if somebody would say to a journalist, "Do you really think that because Stephen Harper never comes on your panel on your show that you should continue doing your work as a journalist?"
Tom Mulcair, would you agree that the place where the answers are going to come from is more likely to be the RCMP, the Ethics Commissioner, a further audit inside the Senate? Are those the places where we're actually going to get answers about how this unfolded?
Well, I think that it's all of the above, and it's first and foremost, in this case, the work of journalists. But I simply wanted to ask you back the same question. If somebody said to you, "Do you really think that journalists are going to get to the bottom of this?" would you stop asking questions?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the official opposition. We're going to keep asking questions. We're going to keep moving the story forward. The story evolved from yesterday to today. We're still not getting a certain number of answers. For example, he still refuses to say when it was discussed in Cabinet. Yesterday he had one version of why he wouldn't answer that question. He changed that version today. Canadians can judge based on that.
So tell me what you think right now is the key question to the Prime Minister that he has not answered at this stage.
He has still not said clearly when he was informed, what day and what hour. There's still gaps in his...
He says May 15th.
There's still gaps in his story.
What is the gap?
One of his gaps is that at the beginning he said that he accepted his resignation immediately, asked for it immediately. We now know that that's not true. Yesterday he acknowledged that there was an email from Mike Duffy saying that he had been told to shut up and that they would go light on him, and that's why they changed the story. We want to see that email. He's still not answering that question. Today we asked him about the severance payment to someone who resigned. He said that there would be one. He's still not giving us the amount.
Do you, just to go back to the Senate issue, and I know your position on the Senate and Canadians know it as well, you want rid of it. But in the meantime, given the way we are seeing, the way some senators are using the rules, the revelations that came out in the Senate committee about Mike Duffy yesterday, do you think that there needs to be a systematic audit of how senators are spending money?
Well,
given the lack of accountability in that chamber.
You couldn't be more correct when you say that there's a total lack of accountability, because forget everything else that you've heard. They have a system they call themselves an honor system. They weren't even obliged to provide any documentation.
Yeah.
But with that honor system, 50% of Mike Duffy's claims were rejected even within the Senate under that type of rule. Don't you think that that should have lit up a few yellow or red lights on their dashboard? Apparently it didn't. So there's no accountability. They're unelected. They're unaccountable, and they're working under the table.
Well, they've changed some of the rules since, but just to speak directly to my question, do you think systematic audits of senators would be a welcome thing, that they should go through them regularly?
What the Auditor General did with our systems in the House of Commons last year is did a full audit of our systems to make sure that there were safeguards in place to check all of our spending. There are not similar safeguards with regard to the Senate, as I just pointed out. It's based on an honor system. They're obviously going to have to change that now. But beyond that, the question is, how is it possible in a democratic society that people who have never been elected are actually able to enact legislation that applies to the whole population? That's the basic problem here. They are unelected, they are unaccountable. That's your word, and you're completely right on that. And we're going to continue to hammer on that. We're still in the opposition right now, but while we're in official opposition, we're starting the conversation with Canadians. I was really glad to see Premier Brad Wall of Saskatchewan come out foursquare in favor of pure abolition of the Senate, simply stated. And that's where we are as well.
We had a lot to cover. We could go on and on, but we're not going to, because I've got some MPs standing by. Thanks, Tom Mulcair. Appreciate your time.
Pleasure.
NDP leader.